Thanks, Michael, for inviting me to speak at this panel. I'm honored to be here. And maybe I can start off with just before the pandemic. Actually, our last discussion on carbon markets take me back to at the time at Washington, D.C., because I was invited to speak at a human rights event at the IFC. And what we discussed was that the social and human impact of climate change is something that we really need to focus on above and beyond markets that we need to create. And at the time, we talked about the use of distributed ledger technology, DLT, or commonly known as blockchain, in order to have improve the transparency and traceability of high quality carbon offsets. And of course, since then, the World Bank has launched its own initiative on meta registry of carbon credits, as well as there are some markets meta registry around the place as well. So I think that we are in a very good place to start thinking about how to unify what you've mentioned earlier, the disjointed regional, national and subnational carbon markets that are around the place. So just to set the scene in terms of the variability of carbon prices, I think it can vary from about $3 to $50 per ton. And the coverage at the moment is very, very limited to about 16% of all carbon emissions, according to the World Bank. So that means that despite the challenges, we're in a very good place to make improvements. So I'll pass on to the next speaker.
Okay, Christine, thank you very much. And before we move to the next speaker, what I'd like to say is you pointed out three really, really important things. I think the most important is this transition has to be a just transition. And carbon credits, a lot of them are going to come from emerging markets. So making sure that we get this system working is not important just to the wealthy and developing world who desperately also need to have carbon reduced, but it's absolutely critical to the emerging markets and has to be a just transition. I thought two other things that were absolutely critical as well. One is transparency. And transparency gives you an opportunity to show that something's validated, that it's proper, and that it's working. So I think those types of issues can't be lost in this.